Gospel and Homily for the fourth Sunday of Easter, Year A. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said, "I tell you most solemnly, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold through the gate, but gets in some other way, is a thief and a brigand. The one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the flock. The gatekeeper lets him in. The sheep hear his voice. One by one he calls his own sheep and leads them out. When he has brought out his flock, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow, because they know his voice. They never follow a stranger, but run away from him. They do not recognize the voice of strangers." Jesus told them this parable, but they failed to understand what he meant by telling it to them. So Jesus spoke to them again. "I tell you solemnly, I am the gate of the sheepfold. All others who have come are thieves and brigands, but the sheep took no notice of them. I am the gate. Anyone who enters through me will be safe. He will go freely in and out and be sure of finding pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come so that they may have life and have it to the full." The Gospel of the Lord. This Sunday, the fourth Sunday of Easter, is designated as a day of prayer for vocations. However, I would like this morning to speak specifically about priesthood. As the family is the primary location for transmitting the Christian faith, it is hardly surprising then that many priestly vocations originate in families where the example of a Christian life is being lived generously and in self-giving manner. In other situations, quite frequently, the spark of vocation to the priesthood is ignited in young men as a result of the joyful witness of priests who are happy in their relationship with Christ, work with and support one another, and are dedicated in their service of the people of God. Many discover the call to priesthood after they have the experience of becoming involved in voluntary charitable work. People have very varied experiences of priesthood, depending on the priest that they have met on life's journey. I am very conscious of the fact that as priests, we all have our faults and failings. Availability for God and the people of God defines the priests. Such priests are ardent ambassadors for priesthood itself. Priesthood in a prevailing culture. In the Western world, there is a prevailing culture of indifference to Christian faith, and this contributes to an inability to understand the value of a vocation to the priesthood. In this situation, it will be very important to present the possibility of a priestly vocation to a young man and invite Christian communities to pray to the Lord of the harvest to raise up new vocations. The duty of fostering vocations falls on the whole Christian community, and yet priests have a particular responsibility for proposing such a vocation to others. Priestly qualities and characteristics. The priest ought to be a man of joy. He is present to families as couples celebrate their love in the sacrament of marriage. He is present with them as they share the joy of their children in the sacraments of baptism, First Holy Communion, and confirmation. He comforts the sick and stands shoulder to shoulder with the bereaved. The priest is a man for others. Like John the Baptist, he must point people in the direction of Christ and avoid any temptation to point to himself. He must also, however, be a man of prayer who recognizes his own limitations and is dependent on God to help and sustain it through the various situations which he encounters on life's journey. The priest must be challenged by the people he serves. By that I mean, if as priests we are not living up to our priestly calling, people must challenge us and remind us of the fact that we are not glorified social workers, that they expect us to be men of prayer, focused on Christ, and unconcerned about popularity. A challenging and fulfilling life. Priesthood is a challenging life, but also a very fulfilling life. A vocation on which I would encourage young men to reflect. May the voice of the Good Shepherd be heard by young men amid the noise and din of this world. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all.